Good day, everyone. So, my name is Desiree Grace Gulay, your discussant for today's discussion. So, today we will be going to discuss an essential aspect of technical writing, which is the references. So, when we say references, it plays a crucial role in ensuring credibility, giving credit to original authors, and also to avoid plagiarism. And before we proceed to the proper discussion, let's discuss first the objectives of this lesson. So here are the objectives. At the end of the discussion, the learners or the students are expected to identify and differentiate various types of references and referencing styles used in technical writing. Second is to appreciate the importance of proper citation and maintaining credibility and avoiding plagiarism. And lastly, to apply appropriate referencing formats in writing technical documents. Before we dive into the details about references, let me ask you a question. Have you ever read an article or research paper and wondered where the writer got their information? Why do you think it is important to include references in technical writing? So to answer that, references serves as evidence that the information used is accurate and comes from reliable sources. So now let's proceed to the definition of references. So when we say references, also known as citations, these are formal acknowledgments of the sources from which we derive information, and they allow readers to trace the origin of ideas and verify facts. Moreover, proper referencing ensures academic honesty and enhances the credibility of technical documents, especially the research paper that we college students are are very are very particular into putting the references when we do our research paper. So now let's proceed to the types of references. So in technical writing, we rely on various sources to support our arguments, of course. And so here are some common types of references. First, we have the books. So books provide in-depth knowledge and foundational concepts on a subject, and they are usually written by experts and undergo extensive editing before publication that makes them reliable sources. We have an example here, um, um, which is the format is the author's last name and then followed by the initial of their first name and then followed by the year of publication is placed in open close parentheses, and then after that we have the title of the book is I italicized to indicate it is a published work. And then lastly, we have the publisher's name, which is provided at the end. Next is we have Next is we have here the journal articles. So these are peer-reviewed studies that present the latest research and are written by researchers and reviewed by experts before publication, of course, ensuring credibility. So we have here the example. So it is the format goes like this: the author's last name and initials must be listed first, followed by the year in open close parentheses, and then followed by the article title in quotation marks, and then the journal name is italicized, and then the volume number is in italics with the issue number in parentheses, and lastly the page range of the article is included at the end. Next is we have the conference paper. So these present new research findings discussed at academic conferences. So it is often introduced cutting edge research before it is formally published in journals. So for the format we have here, um, the title. Um, I it seems like same. It seems like similar to the journal article, but the title of the conference proceeding is italicized instead of a journal title. So, lastly, the page range of the paper within the proceedings is included at the end of this reference. So let's proceed to the web sources. So web sources, these are the online articles, reports, or guidelines from reputable institutions that provides easily accessible information. However, it is crucial to verify the credibility of web sources because we all know that when we talk about internet, there is really when we talk about internet, uh, it doesn't mean that all the information are accurate and are true. So we need verify to verify it to to know if it is true or not. So we have here an example for the format of the web sources. uh, we have here the organization or author and the year. But if no individual author is listed, the organization is used as the author. Next is the retrieval date is omitted unless the content is likely to change over time. And lastly, as you can see here, we have the URL. So it must be a full URL at the end. You must provide the full URL at the end. Yeah. So let's proceed to the fifth one, which is the technical report. So it is published by organizations or industries. Technical reports provide data and findings related to the specific studies or projects. So we have here an example. So for the format of this reference, it should have the organization which serves as the author, and then followed by the title, which must be in an italicized, yeah, italicized to indicate a published document. And lastly, you should have the publisher's name, which is provided at the end of the reference. Next, we have here the patents. So these are the legal documents that protect inventions, and this describe new technologies in detail, including how they work and their potential applications. So this is the example reference for the patents. First, we have the inventor's name, and then followed by the year of publication, which is in the close open parentheses. And lastly, we have the um, title of the patent, which is in the quotation marks. And lastly, followed by the patent number, which is in an italicized to distinguish it as a unique identifier. So next and lastly, we have here the thesis and dissertation. So these are the extensive academic research papers submitted for degrees. And these contain original research conducted by the students at the undergraduate, master's, or in doctoral level. So this is the example reference for this type of reference, which is a thesis and dissertation. So as we can see here, we have the author's last name, the initials, and then followed by the year in a close open parenthesis, followed by the title of the dissertation in italics, and then lastly the degree type and the institution's name. So that's all the types of references. We have first the book, second the journal articles, third the conference papers, fourth the web sources, and then fifth the technical reports, and then the sixth one is the patents, and lastly we have the theses and dissertations for the types of references. Now that we understand the types of references, let's discuss how to format them properly using different referencing styles. So, this style you use depends on your field of study or profession. So here are the most common ones, or the recognized ones for the referencing styles. First, we have the APA, or the American Psychological Association. So it is common in social sciences and technical fields using an author date format for the in-text citation. And for the reference, we have a format of the first. We have a format um, which is the author's last name, the first initial, and then of course the year in a close open parenthesis, followed by the title of the book and the publisher. The second one is the MLA referencing style, the Modern Language Association. So this is usually used in humanities and literature, and it focuses on author, page number, references for the in-text citations. So for the works cited, we have a format like this. As you can see here in our screen, it as you can see we have the author's last name, first name, and then the title of the book, and then followed by the publisher, and then lastly is the year. The third one we have here the Chicago style for the referencing style. So these are commonly used in history and business with two variations. These are the notes and bibliography or the author date citation system. So for the in-text citation, we have a format of author and then the date, or author and then the year rather. And for the bibliography format, we have here an example, as you can see in the screen. So let's proceed to the fourth one, which is the IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. So this is used or commonly used, of course, in engineering and technology field, and it is employing numbered citations for in-text citations. And for the reference list format, we have first the employing numbered citation, and then followed by the initial name and then the surname, and of course the name of or the title of the book, followed by the publisher and the year. Next, we have here the Harvard style. So these are commonly used in business and sciences, closely resembling APA with slight formatting differences. So for the in-text citation, we have here the author's surname, and then followed by the year. And then for the reference list format, we have here, as you can see in the screen, we have here the author's last name, and then followed by the first initial and the year in a close open parenthesis, followed by the title of the book, and lastly the publisher. So these are commonly used in academic paper, especially in UK and Australia. La- Lastly, we have here the Vancouver style. It is used in medical and scientific research following a numerical citation system, which we can see here for the in-text citation. And for the reference list format, we have here the first, the numerical citation, and then followed by the author's last name, and then the first initial, and then followed by the year in a close open parenthesis, then the title of the book, and then followed by the publisher. After the publisher, you must put the semicolon. Then after the semicolon, we have here you must have the year at the end. So that would be all for the referencing style. We have first the APA, the American Psychological Association. Next is we have here the MLA, the Modern Language Association. The third is the Chicago style. The fourth one is the IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. And then the fifth one is we have the Harvard style. And lastly, we have the Vancouver style. In conclusion, or in summary, references play a vital or an important role in technical writing by ensuring credibility, supporting arguments, and of course, most important, to prevent plagiarism. So we discussed seven types of references, including books, journal articles, and patents, along with six common referencing styles used in various academic and professional fields. Before we conclude, let's review through these two questions. First is, why are references important in technical writing? And then the second one, can you name two referencing styles and explain their differences? Thank you for Thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned something in our discussion about references. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.